Television framing suggests that a golden key, an investor's approval, is the only way a startup can scale. Yet, a growing list of multi-million-dollar companies share a counterintuitive origin story. Their trajectory only accelerated after their golden opportunity publicly shattered. Over the last decade, business reality television has engineered a very specific cultural myth: the idea that a panel of billionaires possesses a flawless intuition for predicting market winners. The audience is sold a clean, dramatic narrative. A broadcasted handshake equates to instant wealth and market dominance, while a harsh rejection signifies the immediate death of a company. Behind the cameras, the reality of these negotiations is heavily obscured. Real pitches often last anywhere from 45 minutes to 2.5 hours, but editors aggressively splice these marathons down into 8-minute segments designed purely for pacing and conflict. The resulting broadcast is a highly engineered media product. It is optimized for entertainment, capturing dramatic confrontations rather than providing a definitive verdict on a company's fundamental market value. The manipulation of the narrative extends beyond the editing bay. A significant percentage of filmed pitches are completely scrapped by producers, meaning many founders endure the entire gauntlet only to never make it to the airwaves. The psychological toll of the process is severe enough that immediately following a rejection, founders are ushered into a room with a show-appointed psychiatrist to evaluate their mental state before they leave the studio. Even for those who survive the pitch and secure a deal, the instantaneous on-screen handshake is largely theatrical. It is immediately followed by months of grueling, off-camera due diligence. During that period of intense scrutiny, the most heavily guarded secret of the production comes to light. Roughly 2/3 of the agreements made on television completely collapse in the real world. Consider the case of Hycon. The founder secured a massive $1.25 million agreement on air, only to see the entire deal evaporate once the camera stopped rolling, and the investor decided to aggressively alter the terms of the agreement. Founders are legally prevented from discussing these collapsed deals or leveraging their television appearance to attract other backers because they are bound by strict non-disclosure agreements enforced by the production company. A televised handshake is a flimsy illusion of success. A startup's true test does not happen in the studio. It begins the exact moment the production crew leaves the room. When the founders of the meal kit delivery service Gusto pitched their company, the panel openly mocked them for running a staggering £25,000 monthly loss. Yet, the market reacted entirely differently. Exactly 1 week after their episode aired, Gusto secured a £1 million investment from private industry backers who looked past the televised drama and analyzed the actual data. This chart shows Gusto's massive revenue scaling over time. Starting from a low baseline at the exact moment of their television rejection, the line continuously trends upward, eventually rocketing to a $1 billion market valuation and proving the initial expert consensus entirely wrong. The ride-on suitcase company Trunky faced a similarly harsh evaluation. The panel dismissed the product's valuation entirely, declaring the business completely uninvestable. The consumers disagreed. This graphic compares the two environments. An investor makes a decision based on a severely limited dataset, a single, highly pressured 45-minute conversation. Contrast that with the open market, which functions as an infinite, continuous feedback loop of purchasing decisions. An investor's intuition, no matter how seasoned or successful, relies on a fractured snapshot. Mathematically, it cannot compete with the long-term aggregate behavior of actual paying consumers. A brutal rejection in a sterile pitch room is rarely the end of a startup's fundraising journey. For the most resilient founders, it is merely the beginning of their execution phase. A television investor can reject your business in a sterile pitch room, but only the customers will decide whether it deserves to exist. If this video taught you anything, it should be that one meeting never defines your company. Before your next investor pitch, ask yourself a simple question. If every investor in the room said no today, would my business still become inevitable? That's a question worth answering before you redesign another slide. You don't need to buy anything to think about that tonight. But if you're preparing to raise capital and want an investor-ready framework instead of guessing what belongs on every slide, I've linked my complete $497 VC funding blueprint kit in the description. It includes the VC-ready 16-slide pitch deck in Canva, the slide-by-slide VC instruction guide built around real investor psychology, an AI financial narrative engine that turns 5 business numbers into investor-ready financial storytelling, 16 VC-quality AI prompts, and lifetime updates with no recurring fees. If this documentary changed the way you think about fundraising, subscribe for more startup breakdowns. The investor's opinion lasts a meeting. Your execution decides the next decade.